Another duly noted podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point. All right, welcome into another duly noted podcast for this great Memorial Day. We all know that we have to stop and think about things, and I think everybody's off. No, not everybody, because they're working here, Evan and I. They're working at places like Publix and everything I've been by. I mean, most places are open, but there obviously are a lot of people that are off. But the reason you're off is because we're stopping to honor the people who fought for us and died in any of the wars. I mean, all the wars. Any you could go Civil War. You can go all the way back to that. To me, on Memorial Day, I always gonna want to go watch a movie like The Longest Day or Saving Private Ryan, where you realize what I cannot imagine living that kind of life, even if it was for a brief period, whether it was a week, a month, or 2 years, just how difficult that was. So believe me, I have nothing but respect for all the people that serve in the military. And of course, the Century Tower here on campus was built for the to memorialize anybody who died in the war. So that's pretty cool. Century Tower, yeah. So go by there and say hello. How about that? Great to have today or yesterday. My oldest daughter came to town. She'll be here for a week, so we'll have some fun with her. Kelsey, of course, is my youngest daughter, and Jennifer is my older daughter. And she lives in L.A., so I'm excited about that. Today, we're going to have Robbie Andreu come in today. We were going to have Coach Spurrier, but he had another thing that came up. I think when he talks about talking season, it's talking season for him. That's who it's talking season for. He's always being asked to go speak to these things, and I get it. I understand why he wants to do it. Hopefully, we will have him on Friday. I can't make any promises, but hopefully we will. And we always love having him on. We'll have a lot to catch up with him on. So Robbie is going to fill in for him today, and we'll have a yes, no way, or maybe for Robbie, of course, brought to you by Big Mills Cheesesteaks. All right, it is time to get to the fearsome fivesome. Fearsome fivesome. Let's start off with the number one story to me is softball. Are you kidding me? This is a team I had given up on. What did I tell you? This team isn't special. They're not special. They don't have players that are special. They got good players. They're not a bad team. They're good, but they're just not special. Yeah, you know what they are? They're especially in the Women's College World Series. Are you kidding me? And they ruled Virginia Tech and All-American pitcher in the final game. I was blown away. I was just like going, oh my God, they scored again. What's going on? It was crazy. All I can say is, Tim Walton, apparently you would know way more about softball than I do. No, but I can tell you, even I talked to Tim maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he was in the same boat. But he kept saying, look, this is such a young team. We're going to get it. And his assumption was it would be next year. It happened earlier. And what they were able to do, when they lost that first game and got ruled in that game, you're like, well, you knew that was going to happen. And now to be going to the – and the funny thing is with softball is that they're not they're playing Oregon State, which is another team that I think is unseeded, right? Oregon State's unseeded. That game is going to be at 7 o'clock Thursday. And then they would play, I think, wherever they play. They would play somebody else after that. It depends on whether if they lose, they play at 9:30. If they win on Friday, if they win, they play at 7. Anyway, I feel like I'm doing the Hesser and Kipke games of the weekend. But, so Florida ends up getting in there and in great shape. And, the thing is, I didn't even realize that Cameron Fagan, who I assume is one of the Fagans, I'm not even going to look it up, but I assume is one of the Fagans. And if you don't know the history of that, stop me on the street. Most people do know the history. Hit that big homer for Virginia Tech to give them to kind of put the game away on the first day. And then for Florida to beat another Fagan was kind of good, too. I just can't get enough credit to to Tim Walton for what he's done, to be able to take that team and do what he's done with them with very little home run power. 131 steals for Florida. Think about that. They've changed. He's done something different. Now, the team they're going to play in Oregon State's really good. Mariah Mazzone is, again, like I'm acting like I'm an expert. I don't know anything about her, but I know she pitches and hits. She's one of those Lauren Hager types, so it's going to be tough for them. But, hey, there's 2 unseeded teams in your side of the bracket. Oklahoma's on the other side. Just go play. Go have fun. You should be the loosest team in the tournament. Nobody thought you were going to make it. Nobody. Nobody except you did. And I didn't even think they were going to get out of the regional. I really didn't. Anyway, that is our number 1 story of the weekend. Number 2 would definitely be baseball. On Sunday, they lost and they won, which is incredible. They lost to Tennessee 7-4, and I mean they threw a guy who hadn't thrown hardly at all year. That's fine. Look, I am a big believer in winning SEC championships, but in baseball, the way it's set up, it's just you can't go all in. You just can't. It doesn't work that way. But the good news is the win was that they get to host as a regional. In fact, it wasn't even close. They ended up being a 13th seed. I mean, it would be close if you were the 16th seed. No, they were a 13th seed. People took the people on the committee, and again, the committee is going to get hammered for a lot of things, especially NC State getting left out. That was a big stunner for everybody. But and I could talk regional baseball bracketology all day, but I'm not going to bore you with that. Florida winning 16-21 is why they're hosting a regional. That's the biggest reason. I mean, people say, well, that great stadium. No, you win your 16 of your last 21 and you make a big run in the tournament and you got a great stadium and you put the bid in that I'm sure is at least the minimum, you're going to get a regional. And I get, when I think back on it, I'm not surprised. Let's put it that way. Florida now will play Central Michigan on Friday. I don't have the times yet. Central Michigan was 42-17 this year. Their RPI is 72. Liberty gets sent down here, who beat Florida in the first series of the year. They're a 31 RPI. Oklahoma's a 20. So and I heard, I guess it was Peterson today on the reveal show said the toughest regionals in Gainesville. Okay, that's fine, but somebody's going to win it. Might as well be you. Try to win it. Then you see what maybe you go to Virginia Tech, where some team had success last weekend. Florida, the women should give them a pep talk if that happens. But anyway, other things that happen. We have a potential for an LSU Miami super regional. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it happens, this is going to be the ultimate test for Jeff Cardozo, because his disgust for both teams is pretty strong. I don't know. I think he just would not watch it. Also, Auburn is playing in the same region as FSU. I called that ahead of time. I was hoping they wouldn't send FSU here, because you want to see other teams. And I think the regional Florida got is really tough, but it's fun. Liberty, we'll see them again. They were really good. I like that team. Central Michigan, maybe Jim McElwain comes down and visits. In Oklahoma, which seems that Florida and Oklahoma are playing all the time now. Okay, next up, I wanted to talk about men's golf. Made the top 15. They are playing right now. They made the first cut at the NCAA tournament. I have a vested interest in this because I love J.C. Deacon and all the things he has been able to do. Now they're going down. They will cut down to the final 8. It's going to be tough for Florida to get in that final 8. Obviously, they're playing right now, so I'm not going to be able to give you much of an update. It's interesting because Florida, Arkansas, Auburn, Georgia, Ole Miss, they're all in there in that kind of – and only 8 teams get in, so there's only going to probably be 2 of them, so we'll see how they do. But they played pretty well so far. Number 4 on our fearsome fivesome. Oh, man, had to burp there for a second. Can we edit that out? All right, on our fearsome fivesome. Watch the Celtics beat the Heat last night. Everybody, all they're talking about, and the first, there was one thing that mattered to me because I don't care that much about the NBA, but I watch the playoffs. I've said that a million times. So, so I'm watching the games last night with my daughter Jennifer, and we're watching the game. She's like, "Who are you rooting for?" I'm kind of rooting for the Celtics. So I'm rooting for Al Horford. That's what I'm rooting for. Udonis is on the other team. He isn't playing, so I'm rooting for Al Horford. And the joy of Al Horford after he finally got into an NBA final was you could feel it coming through the screen, and it made you kind of want to well up. But all anybody wants to talk about today, of course, is Jimmy Butler taking that shot. Which you're the best player on the team, you got a chance to win the game, but it's funny because the announcer even says for the win. I go, there's 12 seconds left. No game's ever been won. I mean, games are won with 12 seconds left. It's because somebody missed on the other end. But I didn't have a problem there. I understand you can go back and analyze it. Jimmy Butler's your best player. Horford was not letting him get by him. He was not at best he would have fouled him and he would have gotten 2 shots. So I had no problem with him taking that shot. He had space, he had room. In the end, it'll be an interesting series. We talked about it before, but it wasn't. I said it was going to be the Heat and the Warriors. There was no question. It didn't work out. But I'm happy for the Celtics, and I'm happy for Al Horford more than anything. All right, finally on the fearsome fivesome, this story is all over the internet, and that's the only reason I know because I don't really follow soccer that much. But there's a team, Saint Etienne. Are you aware of them, Evan? Saint Etienne. They got relegated. Okay, they got relegated to and I think they should do that with college football. Relegate. All right, Vanderbilt, you're relegated. You're now in the AAC, and then then you would go down to the WAC or whatever. But they got relegated, and their fans stormed the field, mobbed the players, and shot flares at them. You think it's serious in the SEC? It's not. This is where it's serious. Overseas, that's where they take their sports seriously. Of course, they only have one sport, but we have a lot of them. Anyway, all right, so that'll do it for the fearsome fivesome. And again, I want to make sure everybody, if you're watching the show live, I know everybody's just having a good time today. Try to enjoy. If you're going to watch it or listening to it taped, just remember why we're having this day off. But mainly what happened. People that gave. I still it boggles my mind. I was talking about this with my wife last night. My number came up in during the Vietnam War, and again, my dad didn't really see any combat. I think Robbie's did. We'll talk to Robbie about that. Karen's dad was fighting fighter jets in Vietnam. I mean, she might not be here, and I wouldn't be happily married. But it is crazy to think about it. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with Robbie Andreu and talk to him. We always love talking to Robbie. We got a few things, and we'll do a yes, no way, or maybe with him. We still got to get to the Adams Ribco Gator of the weekend, and I feel pretty good about this one. I can tell you that. The Hesser Kipke Power 5 and Powerless 3. We've made some changes there. Leonardo's a Millhopper Quick Picks. We already gave Ryan Emerson was the winner. We pulled that on Friday. We got 2 of them for you today. So it'll be fun to do that. 3 things, as always, presented by the great Chris Hand at Hand Law. Some good stuff there. So we got a lot of stuff to cover after we talk to Robbie. We'll see what Robbie's got to say here on another Duly Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Another duly noted podcast comes to you from the Coaches Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Celebration Point. You can watch and listen to us on Facebook and YouTube for every podcast that we do on Mondays and Fridays at 2 o'clock. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, any of the other 39 platforms where you can find this podcast or your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below or call me if you want to do some advertising at 352-317-3444.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Tebow Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Bite Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Pat Dooley, of course, from another duly noted podcast. And this is a great Adam Brewer, and he's just opened up a place here, Adam Brew To Go. What gave you the idea to do this, to have a to-go place like this?
We really like the fast concept, being able to get the barbecue. Now we have this new online ordering. So before it was a call ahead carry out, quick service. We have like a curbside kind of a deal where everything's ready to go for you. And then we thought, wow, we have a really great dine-in concept, but how can we make this streamlined for the customer and make it easy and accessible for all parts of town?
Adam's Rib Co. To Go. Come on down and enjoy it.
Things have certainly got a little out of hand lately when it comes to just buying our everyday necessities. Just look at gas, streaming services, and heck, even chicken wings. Well, there is one necessity that shouldn't cost a ton: taking care of yourself and helping fix all the aches and pains in life, and the fine folks at Titan MRI agree. With costs a fraction of what you'd pay at a hospital, you'll not only save money, you'll be taken care of by staff with over 20 years experience. So when you need an MRI, call Titan first, and you can go where your doctors send their families. Now offering CAT scans.
All right, welcome into another duly noted podcast, presented, of course, as always, by Titan MRI from the Meldon Law Gator Studios, and we bring Robbie Andreu back. We had him a couple weeks ago, but we bring him back again. And
was it that long ago? 2 weeks?
I think it was. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
probably
at least 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and you saw Top Gun the other day, what?
It was really good. It was better than the original.
No,
it was.
I didn't like the original.
You didn't? I thought it was. No, it was really good. I think you're going to like it.
Is there a lot of planes in it?
Well, duh. Dummy.
Does Goose die in it?
He's already dead, Pat. But Goose's son is.
Yeah, don't watch the first one now. I've already ruined it for you.
I didn't watch the first one until like a week ago to get ready for this one.
Really?
But it was a lot of fun. And we're in the big theater over there across the street, and you could feel the noise in your seat. It was great.
Yeah. Kind of like with when you went to the movie, when we went the other day to see what was it, Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Every trailer was for a sequel. Every one. It was
Jurassic
Downton
Park.
Abbey to Jurassic Park 9 or whatever it is. Avatar 2. Everything was a sequel.
Yeah. We had so many previews, I can't remember them all.
I know.
But I do know that Jurassic Park was a sequel. Can't remember the other ones, though.
There was a bunch. I was
Elvis busy eating popcorn.
Yeah. All right. So
The Elvis, yeah, that was a preview, too.
Well, it's kind of a
Which
sequel.
looks good.
Because the Kurt Russell version.
Yeah.
You're never going to top that.
He's your boyfriend, that's why.
Never going to top Kurt Russell in anything. All right, Robbie, let's talk. We're in talking season officially, and
Well, yeah, the magazines are coming out now, so
yeah,
here we go.
But I mean, that's the thing. All right, just lop Alabama and Georgia off the top. Okay, lop them off, and then if you had to pick, and let's say both teams got, I don't want to wish them, but ill will, but let's say they both got terrible COVID outbreaks, and they had to sit out for a year. Okay,
Who would I put on top?
who would
then?
you pick to win each division?
The each division?
Eastern and Western.
Okay. I think in the East, I'd pick either Tennessee or Kentucky. I think.
Well, that's not
Okay, I'm picking Kentucky. How's that?
okay.
They finished the year strong. They look good. They got an experienced quarterback coming back. If they win in the swamp early in the year, they're on their way. Now in the West, I think everybody would pick A&M, but I'm not that high on A&M.
Yeah,
They don't have an experienced quarterback. Jimbo Fisher has underachieved since he's been there to
Right.
me. Don't you think?
And that's the other thing, though. I mean, to me, when you look at the possibilities of what could happen in the West, I mean, there are so many X factors. I don't know that I've ever seen a year where there were so many X factors in the SEC. For example, LSU's totally an X factor. We have no idea what
All we
they're
know
going
is
to
they're
do.
loaded with talent as always.
They got talented players. They got a great coach. We don't know if it's going to mesh.
No.
Ole Miss, which has killed it in the transfer portal, but are those guys going to
Yeah,
mesh?
they need a new. They don't have a starting quarterback.
We don't know
right now.
about Texas A&M. Texas A&M may go 8-4 again.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people are looking at because of their great recruiting that suddenly makes them the elite team in that
Right.
division, but it's not. Those guys aren't going to be good until another year or two, probably.
Tennessee
For the most
is a
part.
total X factor. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw what they did at the end of the year. They got Neyland Stadium to be rocking again. That was great.
They did.
But is that going to translate to this year? We don't know that. I mean, they didn't really beat anybody.
Well, and my thing, Pat, with Tennessee is Heupel's offense. People weren't used to it yet, and now
Yeah.
they've seen it, like going through the batting
Right.
order a second time. So is it going to be a little different for coordinators on defense trying to stop that offense? Because they were, by the end of the year, they were hard to stop.
I know. And then Florida is the other
Yeah.
team. I have no
I have no
if
idea.
they go 6-6, I'm not going to be stunned. If they go
No.
10-2, I wouldn't be stunned.
Or if they went, 5-7, you wouldn't be.
There's no record almost that would surprise me.
Well, the thing is, if Richardson gets hurt, they've
Yeah.
got a real problem on offense. Depth is a problem at defensive line. I think they've got a good roster, a good first team on both sides of the ball, but there's not a lot of depth there right now.
See, that's the thing with me with
And the schedule's tough.
Yeah, with Anthony Richardson, he may be great, he may not be
Yeah.
great. But that's one question. The other question is what happens if he gets hurt, and then it feels almost like Skylar Morningway's in the game.
Yeah.
Or somebody like that. I mean, Jack Miller's okay. He's
Yeah.
a scholarship player, but I didn't see anything from that game that spring game that went.
No.
Ooh.
You
But-
get the feeling he can operate the offense, Pat, manage it pretty well, but
Yeah, but I don't. But again,
arm talent, I'm not
you've
sure.
got to be really good to have a quarterback manage a game.
Yeah, you do.
You can't have a crappy team.
No, and have a quarterback
that has
that
no
can't.
depth and have a quarterback who
That-
can't make plays.
Yeah, you got to have a playmaker there.
And that's why Florida's a total X factor. I
Yeah,
think, going into
but
this
Pat,
year.
also I was thinking the other day, and I don't want to sound real negative on this one, but it could be a little bit like Charlie Pell's first year. I'm not saying 0-10-1.
Ooh, woof.
I'm not saying 0-10-1, but
Well,
if
they play
have,
11 games.
But if they have injuries, Pat, and you look at the schedule, there are a lot of potential losses on there.
They're not going to lose to Eastern Washington, so
No.
I would think they would get that one.
Yeah,
But I didn't think they were going to lose to Georgia Southern.
no,
either.
no, that's true.
But that team was in every game for the most part. They
were. They were
had some
very
blowouts.
competitive, yeah.
I think Alabama was 40-0.
Yeah,
But they could have won a lot of games
Yeah.
that year. But they just
but losing to Tulsa on homecoming was like the ultimate.
when Collinsworth ran back a kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah,
We ran it as a cover of our what was the magazine I did? Bull Gator.
Bull Gator. Yeah,
Yeah, we ran it as a cover like every week because it was the only good.
that was the only good picture, the only moment.
But that's the thing. I mean, that was a lot of people. I mean, I know that Scott Brantley thinks that Charlie kind of tanked that year,
Yeah.
trying to show how bad they were. But he was also dealing with the DEA and
He had a lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on. But even if Florida does have kind of a down year, I think they will have a big bounce back year next year in Napier's second year, just like Pell did.
I don't see a way they could go worse than like 5-7.
Yeah,
Just because you figure Vandy, Eastern, USF, there's 3 automatics.
yeah, you're right.
And then you can, I mean, they'll be good enough to win 2 other games. And again, it's depressing for us to be sitting here talking.
I know, but it's the reality of the situation, Pat. But if they beat Utah, who knows what happens then?
Yeah, I mean, I know you're excited about a 7 o'clock game.
Yeah, I am because I don't have to cover it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm fine.
That'll
with
be
that.
fun.
Yeah, it's going to be. And again, that's the thing about that I was thinking about the other day is how, we found out during and in fact, I'm doing a thing on the 12 games that shaped Florida football fans' expectations, okay? And one of them might be, I haven't decided on this yet, but one of them might be that Auburn game, that Auburn game under Dan Mullen, when the Swamp showed what it can be.
Was back,
game day, Swamp is back, they win the game, they're great. Now, it didn't sustain, but
No.
it did allow Florida fans to go,
It's
hey,
there.
it can be,
Yeah,
it's still there.
Still
Yeah.
there. You're right.
We can
because
still
when
do
P-Ryan
this.
made that touchdown run, that's as loud as you'll ever hear it in there.
Yeah, I've always said it was the loudest sustained noise I've ever heard at Florida Field.
Yeah.
I mean,
Auburn fans thought it was piped in, some of the noise.
we were right there.
I know.
Piped in would be Auburn,
Yeah.
which did that in 06.
06, yeah.
They piped in all this music at the snap. You'd be sitting there
That
trying to
was
get
so
a snap.
loud, it was unbelievable.
We would be like covering our ears when they're snapping the ball, and they got reprimanded or they got fined.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not a fine. You need to fine them more than that. They tried to affect the outcome of a game. That's ridiculous.
I remember after that loss, I had to do a story on can they still win the national title? And they could, and they did.
Really? What did you say?
I don't know, but we were on the golf course when I got the call. We want you to do a story on this week. Wasn't it an open date?
Could have been.
It must have been because we were on the golf course on a Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got
Where
the
were we
Wobie.
playing?
I can't remember.
Wobie for
But
those
we were
of you who
playing.
don't know.
I think we were playing. I can't remember.
Wobie, for those of you who don't know, is Paul Jenkins. We give him credit for that.
That's great.
He came up with this working on bad ideas. That's
And when you get a Wobie, baby,
you get a Wobie.
Look out.
Oh my God! I'm going to spend all day trying to find.
Yeah, a Wobie
Like
was worse than a dark cloud.
Yeah, dark clouds lasted longer.
Yeah.
Wobies you had to get done right away.
Yeah, attack the Wobie.
You wonder why we're retired from the newspaper
Attack the
business?
Wobie Wan Kenobi.
That's right. Okay, I want to talk to you just a little bit. I know you're not a big softball or baseball fan, but what happened this weekend was unbelievable. With Florida
It was.
hosting a regional in baseball, getting to the College World Series in softball, I was just sitting there Sunday going, I can't believe what I'm watching.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing to me, Pat, when you look at their regular season record in the conference, and now they're the only SEC team in the World Series.
Yeah.
Or in the
Yeah,
But
because three of the seeded teams got beat.
Yeah. But I've said all along, earlier when they were kind of struggling, I still thought that he was getting the most out of that team. And now we saw that on the weekend. But after that loss on Friday, I thought, oh, they're done.
No,
they got blown out 6-0. It was like, and then you turn on the game yesterday, and wow.
Well, yeah, I was. I remember watching. Or no, I didn't even watch the second game. Second game, I'm like, oh, Florida won today.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't
then
believe
now
it.
I watched third.
Then I watched the
Yeah,
third
yeah.
game. Yeah, and that was great to watch, and it
Yeah.
was great to have the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
on the two TV.
And then baseball, too, making it to the final was big.
was
Because
And
now they've got a regional at home. Because of
regional
that.
at home. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but again, it's not going to be any tougher than the SEC. We know that. So we'll see how they do, and obviously they played well down the stretch. 16 of 21 is what they've won.
That's pretty good.
Do you think Jim McElwain makes an appearance since Central Michigan's playing him the first game?
I don't know.
What if he did? What he shows, hey, you know what? I took a bus to get down here.
He always
And I
takes
took a
bus.
plane, and then we got
When
here.
we got on the bus, we'll show up.
Yeah, we're here.
Me and the Shark will show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time with Jeff if LSU and Miami end up in super regionals because they're matched up against each other.
Oh, they are?
Because he has a hard time hating both of them the same.
He hates them both?
Oh,
I think he
unbelievable.
hates Miami more. Even though
I do too, but I think it's because he's from that area.
But even
yeah.
though his radio call in the LSU game when the LSU players were like doing the Gator chomp, he was getting real angry on the air.
He does get mad.
So-
He does get mad.
He
That's
does.
okay though.
He's
all
an
right.
emotional guy.
He is emotional. All right, so we have we covered everything. We want to get to yes, no, way, or maybe,
Whatever you want, Pat.
Or do you have anything you want to spout off about? Your Twins are hanging in there.
Yeah, they're not really. They don't hit real.
They didn't
well.
make the Hesser and Kipke Power 5. Just
No, well, no, they're not there yet. But they're a lot better than everybody thought they were going to be. And so,
yeah.
if they're a 500 team, I'll take that. They're 10 over now, so I'm in good
I think
shape.
the Braves are pacing themselves.
Well, remember last year the Mets
I
had
know.
a big lead and they overtook them.
Well, I think they're 2 under 500.
But how did the Mets get so good so fast?
Their
what do they
pitching
got?
all came together. I
Yeah.
think more than anything, it all came together.
It all
for them.
comes down to that, doesn't it?
It does. And it'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch softball and baseball this weekend. I mean,
Yeah, gives you
we
something.
literally. I think a lot of us were wondering. Think about a month ago. A lot of us thought, well, don't have to worry about anything in June.
No, I know.
You know,
I know.
I mean,
it looked like it was going to be a quiet end to both seasons.
And here's the thing about softball. Softball, they're playing in a side of the bracket where 2 of the teams weren't seeded either. So
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen. Oregon State's really good. They got this. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. They've got a girl named Mariah Mazone that pitches and hits. She's a Lauren Hager type.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Got to
and-
watch out for a team
Yeah.
with somebody like
But
that.
who knows?
Yeah.
This is a team that is built so differently.
Yeah.
And watching them, it can be frustrating because they don't hit the ball hard. They just hit the ball on the ground and try to get steal bases. And I mean, we'll get to our Adam Tribko to go Gator of the weekend. You can kind of guess what sport that may come from this week.
Pat, you know what else I've been watching, which has been entertaining? The NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the game all year till the playoffs, but they've been fun. And Al Horford, does anybody play harder than that guy?
I love the guy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I told Jenny, 'cause Jennifer's here, I said, it's amazing how hard I'm rooting for the Celtics.
Yeah,
That's
I've
what
always
Al-
hated the Celtics.
I've hated them my whole
too.
life. I was a Lakers guy.
Yeah, I was a Knicks guy.
Yeah, but because of Al Horford, I have to root for them
Yeah,
because I love him so much.
yeah. But I can't root for the Boston fans. They still make me,
No,
make me queasy when I see them in the stands.
there was some.
They get on my nerves.
We were watching the people in the stands, and it was so ridiculous. Some guy had like 8 chains.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
Yeah, in like slicked down
Yeah.
hair in the front, and he was probably 22, and he had this like model stripper girlfriend next to him, and
Nice.
I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
the
I didn't even know
fans.
it was M. It wasn't MMA. It was like AMM or something like that. Big, huge gold letters. I'm like,
Boston.
I still got to root for him. I'm going to root for Al Horford.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. All right, so let's do yes, no, way, or maybe. And, of course, yes, no, way, or maybe is presented by Big Mills Cheesesteaks. If you go to Big Mills Cheesesteaks, you can get whatever you order. You can get free French fries with it. If you mention another Duly Noted podcast, we appreciate Keith Miller from Big Mills. And number 1, Robbie, here we go. 7 p.m. game against Utah. Will you be there?
No way.
You're not going?
No, I'm going to watch at home.
But you could go. It's nice.
I don't
It's
want
gonna
to
be-
go.
You could tailgate.
I probably will tailgate, then go home and watch on TV.
Okay.
That's what I did for the Alabama game.
I promise
That
people
worked.
I'm going to this game.
Well, do you have a ticket? I don't have a ticket.
I can get tickets.
I know you can, but I can't. I have no pull.
I promise people I'm going to go, but when it gets closer and I'm going to go.
Who did you promise?
I did it in print.
You did? So you're in. You're locked in.
I may be locked in, but there's
Yeah,
part
to me, I'm a no way.
there's part of me that wants to go. Hey, I have to walk in the press box and go. Hey, I was here. But I mean, it's like even going to the spring game. I like going to the spring game, but there were.
I went and sat in the stands. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but it was the spring game. That was
Yeah.
40,000 people.
Yeah.
I don't.
We went to the LSU game our last year, but that was odd.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a hard time.
So I'm a no way on that. Or maybe.
All right, number 2, Ricky Pearsall is a leading Florida receiver next year.
Maybe. If you looked at the tape of that kid,
It's good.
looks like a playmaker, and he's fast and he's big. And not only is he good running routes, it looks like, but he's good on these end-around plays and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
A guy that you put the ball in his hands, I can see him making a lot of plays from that slot.
Of course, this is a guy who's transferred from Arizona State. Was a big get for.
So that was a
Florida.
good trade, I think. Pearsall for Emory Jones, one-on-one trade.
Yeah, it was.
I think Florida's happy
So
with
that's
that
like
trade.
the Mike White for Katie Turner trade.
Yeah, that's a good trade too.
That was a
I think
good
Florida made out good on both of those.
Yeah, I mean, what I liked, I saw a little bit of tape of him, the way he would go up and get the ball.
Yeah,
And, I always said that there was nobody better than Riddell Anthony. Riddell Anthony
was
would
great.
go up
Yeah.
to catch it,
And hover.
it was somehow he would go up another.
he'd get a little higher.
Almost like
yeah.
he stepped on a thing. And I never saw anybody do that. Tyree Cleveland did that a couple of times, and that was the first time I'd seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that at least on tape.
Yeah, and what I also see on tape with him, Pat, is he's a good route runner and quick. And you get Florida's receivers don't separate real well, but a
No.
lot of it is because they're not running good routes or they're
Right.
not being quick enough. Quickness gets you open. Quickness and route running gets you open.
Yeah,
Speed doesn't
anybody
get you
can.
open.
If speed gets you open long, but speed doesn't get you open doing an out.
No.
If you
You've
don't
gotta
run
be
the
quick
precise
and,
route,
Yeah.
the guy can stay with you.
But
You're
he
absolutely right.
knows how to play the position. It looks like based on what we saw on tape.
Yeah, so I think he will be. Although I mean, Justin Shorter's
Well, yeah.
gotten better every
And
year.
Henderson's due to break out
Yeah.
probably. So
I will say this: I do like the room a little bit better now.
I do
right?
too.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's one of the few full rooms. I had a hard time
It
saying
is.
that. Running back.
Running back's a full room.
Running back's a full room.
Quarterback is
Receiver,
not.
Quarterback's not.
O-line's not quite there yet.
No.
D-line's definitely not there yet.
No.
Linebacker definitely not there yet.
No.
Secondary, I think,
Secondary's
is good.
full.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good. I may write a story about that.
You could do that.
Full rooms.
Yeah.
Kickers.
Is this
don't-
a full room here?
Yeah. No. This is a vacant room.
It is.
All right. Finally, number 3, Florida women's softball makes the College World Series final.
I'm tempted to say no way, but knowing how they're playing now, I'd say maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
here's the thing about
Because the draw is pretty good, right?
yeah
For them.
yeah it's actually better.
It's
than
doable.
The other side.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: in the College World Series, somebody told me this a long time ago, and actually, I hate to say who it was, Adam Schick, but he was right. I know.
Your boy.
No, it's Jeff's boy.
Yeah, it is. I forgot.
But he said this, and he was dead right. You've got to have a dominant pitcher.
You did.
If you don't have somebody that can go out there and literally pitch the entire thing if they want to. And Florida doesn't have that. Florida's got a mixed bag. You don't know what you're getting one day to the next.
You really don't.
I don't think they'll get there, but I mean, the way they play different than they play the way college softball used to be played. Bunt hits, runs,
Base to
steal.
base, station to
base
station, yeah.
They're not hitting a lot of home runs,
No.
but we'll see. Hey, at least we got something to watch this week.
I know. It'll
right?
be fun.
Yeah. It'll be fun to watch maybe a little golf, too. Did you watch any of the golf this week? It's
Yeah.
hard for me to watch golf after a major.
It really is. It's kind of depressing in a way. But with the guys that were in the coming out of the end there was good. And
Scheffler.
every time you have a playoff, that's interesting.
Yeah, Burns makes that putt from the fringe.
Yeah. But look at Burns. He was done an hour and a half probably before Scheffler was done. But the wind got him. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It affected putts
I know.
in a big way. So
Yep. So that was it.
But yeah,
All
that
right.
was entertaining.
Great to have Robbie back on the show, and we'll be back with next week, hopefully, Coach Spurrier. But right now, we got to take a break. And when we come back, we'll do the Adams Ribco to Go Gator of the weekend, Hesser and Kipke's Power 5 and Powerless 3. Your Twins are not in the Powerless 3.
No, they're
so,
not even
yeah.
close.
Leonardo's a Millhopper Quick Picks. We got 2 of them for you. 3 things presented by Handlaw. Handlaw, of course, bringing you Robbie's appearance, and we appreciate Handlaw doing that. Chris Hand has been doing a double sponsor for a long time here, and of course, we enjoy doing the Yes, No, Where, Maybe, brought to you by Big Mills Cheesesteak Street
Always
Dining.
fun.
Done right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more of another Duly Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Another duly noted podcast comes to you from the Coaches Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Celebration Point. You can watch and listen to us on Facebook and YouTube for every podcast that we do on Mondays and Fridays at 2 o'clock. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, any of the other 39 platforms where you can find this podcast or your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below or call me if you want to do some advertising at 352-317-3444.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Trebo Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Bite Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Pat Dooley, of course, from another duly noted podcast. And this is a great Adam Brewer, and he's just opened up a place here, Adam Brew to Go. What gave you the idea to do this, to have a to-go place?
We really like the fast concept, being able to get the barbecue. Now we have this new online ordering. So before it was a call ahead carry out, quick service. We have like a curbside kind of a deal where everything's ready to go for you. And then we thought, wow, we have a really great dine-in concept, but how can we make this streamlined for the customer and make it easy and accessible for all parts of town?
Adam's Rib Co. to Go. Come on down and enjoy it.
Things have certainly got a little out of hand lately when it comes to just buying our everyday necessities. Just look at gas, streaming services, and heck, even chicken wings. Well, there is one necessity that shouldn't cost a ton: taking care of yourself and helping fix all the aches and pains in life, and the fine folks at Titan MRI agree. With costs a fraction of what you'd pay at a hospital, you'll not only save money, you'll be taken care of by staff with over 20 years experience. So when you need an MRI, call Titan first, and you can go where your doctors send their families. Now offering CAT scans.
Hello, America. I'm Pat Dooley. All right. It was fun to have Robbie on again, and we love having him on. We're trying to figure out our radio schedule, but I think we'll be pretty much as normal, because we were expecting Jeff to have to go out of town, but he ain't going out of town. He's going to be in town. So, and the first game is Friday, but I may have Robbie on Friday. But hopefully Coach Spurrier will be here next Friday. If he's not, we'll get a great guest. I'm sure, as you guys know, we get great guests, and we do the best we can. We're just trying to keep going with a show that we think is important. In fact, I've even thought of things I want to do to expand things. So we'll see. We'll see, okay? You never know. All right, let's start off with three things presented by Hand Law. And, of course, we appreciate Chris Hand. He's done a tremendous job with everything that we've done, and he's always quick to point out things that we could do better, or things that we could mistakes that I've made, and make them straight. That's all I've ever wanted. I always like constructive criticism, and but he's also a great guy. Hopefully, see him soon. Three Things is presented by Hand Law, and of course, Hand Law is a Florida law firm which helps clients with government. You can learn more about Hand Law very easily. All you have to do is visit its website at www.hand.law. The firm is available for consultation in Jacksonville. So give Hand Law a call if you have a problem, okay? First of all, number one, the SEC meetings are going on this week. Oh, can they arrange some kind of a photo op with Saban and Jimbo? Maybe they'll start going at it. Because Jimbo's already said, no, I said I'm not going to take his call. I'm not going to take his call. I mean, he's not over it. This could get funny. It could be real funny. And again, if you've got angry Nick Saban and angry 6-year-old Jimbo Fisher in the same room. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm looking forward to what we talk about Friday. Now, the biggest thing they're going to talk about is the schedule. I would think they're going to try to get it done here. It's a weird deal. The schedule that I've written about and everybody's written about, how they're going to figure it out with once Oklahoma and Texas come into the league. There apparently are 2 models now. Now, again, things can change. I wrote a thing about 12 things that could happen. All of those things could happen, believe me. Just because it's been narrowed down and there's 2 sides, there could be compromises. But the one is a 1-7 model, which means you have 1 permanent opponent. And then the other 7 change, and you're able. The biggest thing is for the SEC is it's been so stupid, but they want teams to play each other. You want to be able to go to a campus in 5 years at a school. If you go to Auburn, you want to be able within the 5 years to see Florida, to see Tennessee. It's kind of stupid that it's been that way. The other model's the 3-6, which was what we've talked about, the pod system. You get 3 teams at your permanent opponents, the 6 change, which I think is what they want to go to, but some people just don't. I've seen where Alabama ends up going into the pod with Florida, and I've seen everything. I'm almost like I don't even know if I want to talk about it anymore. I just want to wait until it comes out and they finally get it done. Hopefully they get it done, unlike the playoffs, which they got done, and then it got shut down because they added up Oklahoma and Texas. So it's crazy. College football is crazy, man, but it gives us something to talk about. All right. Number 2 on hand law, 3 things. Georgia is complaining about their game times for the first part of the season. September, they've got 3:30 and noon game and all these other games, and they're not happy about it. One of the 3:30 game is indoors, by the way, so calm down. But they feel like defending national champs should get better times. Every game should be in prime time. Well, it doesn't work that way. The TV stations, the TV networks decide when they want you to play, and that's when you're going to play. It's their world. We're all just living in it. You have to deal with it. How many times have Florida played a noon game for opening game? It's happened many times, and we worried about whether people were going to die. I get your concerns about that, but this is a world we live in. Quit complaining. And hopefully you lose one of them, especially South Carolina. I would like to see that. Finally, number 3, Florida going to Oklahoma City is so great, but it makes me sad. This is a weird part of my life right now. Being retired for a year and a half is that when something big happens or there's a big event, there is still a part of me that wishes I could be there. And Oklahoma City is one of them. When Florida going there, I was like, God, I wish I could go. And it's like Oklahoma City, the city is nothing special. It's okay. It's nothing great. The stadium, going to the stadium is nothing special. It's just kind of fun to go because it's, you're at a big event. It's certainly, plenty of places to get food and everything. It's fine, but it's nothing special. But Oklahoma City's great. Bricktown's great. I love Bricktown. I love the Mojos. It used to be called the Biting Sow. I used to go there. They actually had my blog that I did up on the wall for a lot of years because I love that place. I love going to Manals. I love going to Flaming Lips Alley. I love Bricktown. Bricktown's one of my favorite places to go, and I miss being able to go there. Maybe we even talked after Florida won yesterday about let's just go. I don't know if we've got the cojones to do that, but we may. You never know. But I do miss it, and that's what I miss going to the SEC basketball tournament. I miss being at big events. That part of me is still. I'm not over that part of it from leaving. The Gainesville Sun. Not that any of you care. Okay, that is going to do it for 3 things presented by Hand Law. Chris Hand, we appreciate him so much as a double sponsor. Let us go to the Leonardo's and Millhopper Quick Picks. And again, we had a winner last week. We pulled it on Friday. Ryan Emerson is a winner. He's got to get in touch with me. I'm sure he will. once we get back on the radio tomorrow, especially. We're going to give you a couple of Thursday specials. So we're going to give you two that you have to get right. I wrote something down here that I'm trying to figure out. I think I might do something. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm writing a book. I'm finishing up. No, I'm not finishing. I wrote a book a long time ago called Game of My Life. People like that book very much. It's been very popular. They're asking me to add 2 more chapters. I'm doing them on Major Wright and Steve Tannen. When I get the book, I'm going to give it away along with Leonardo's at Millhopper Leonardo's at Millhopper $25 gift certificate to somebody. As soon as I get the book, the moment I get it, okay? And so we're going to do that, but not this one. This one, because I don't know when I'm going to get that book. They're still editing it. We're going to give you 2 games. So Thursday, Boston at Golden State, game 1. Should be great. Should be a lot of fun. Boston at Golden State and Florida at Oregon State, or versus Oregon State in Oklahoma City. I think Florida is the home team for that game. I believe they are. So there you got 2 games. Boston at Golden State, Florida versus Oregon State. They're both Thursday. You got plenty of time to get your picks in. You guys have been doing well lately, and it's always fun to do the Leonardo's at Millhopper quick picks. The winner of this one will get a really nice prize, including $25 at Leonardo's, which is always a good prize, and some other stuff too I'm going to throw in there. Let us go to our Hesser and Kipke Power 5 and Powerless 3. Hesser and Kipke, of course, we appreciate them so much. Double sponsors. It's a law firm Blazed? It's Blazed. It's based in Hale Plantation, specializing in employment, workers' comp, and family law. Visit their website at www.hklawfl.com or call Ken and Jennifer at 352-339-9920. That's 339-9920 if you want to call Ken and Jennifer and get involved with Hesser and Kipke. They have been great to us and do a great job over there. Our Power 5, I'm going with the Dodgers at number 1 now. The Dodgers have won 5 in a row. They're 33-14. They are number 1 as far as I'm concerned. They're playing the best of anybody, and it's a shame, but they are. Secondly, I'll go with the Mets, who are also playing well, won 3 in a row. Thirdly, I'll go with the Yankees, and the Yankees drop out of the first spot because they've lost 2 in a row. I mean, you got to go with trends here, man. You got to go with trends. I mean, we're like 45 games or 47, 48 games into the season, so we're starting to see what everybody has. I'm going with Toronto at number 4. Toronto's won 4 straight. We know they're a good team, and they seem to be getting their stride. I will take Toronto at number 4. And at 5, I reluctantly take the Houston Astros. They're 30-18. They are playing really well at home because, of course, I'm sure there's some way they cheat. They probably let like the Twins used to do, open up the doors and let the wind blow the ball out, something like that. I'm sure they are. So that is our Power 5 right now. LA Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Toronto, and the Houston Astros. Let us go to our Powerless 3 on the Hesser and Kipke Powerless, or Power 5 and Powerless 3. I'm going with the Powerless 3, the teams that have the fewest home runs. Who's got the fewest? Who do you think? Detroit. Oh, Al Kaline's spinning in his grave. Spinning. 27. Rocky Calavito, too. Although I think he played for the Indians, too. I think he played for the Detroit Tigers. Dick McAuliffe. There's a good name for you. 27 homers is all they have. Second to last, Washington. The former Nationals. I call them the former Nationals. They used to be a great team. Now they're not. 32 homers. And third, Oakland, 33. Billy Bean, you better get on it. So that is our and by the way, I was looking this up. Atlanta is 4th in homers. We're 4th. We're hitting a lot of homers. We're an all-or-nothing team, kind of like the Gators have been all year. All or nothing. Come on, man. You know the 3 teams ahead of them, though? The Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Brewers, who are really good. Those are good teams. The Braves are under 500. That's not the way to do it. Sometimes you got to just get the ball down. You need to be more like the Gators softball team. steal bases, bunt, run around, do chants, put cups on top of your head for every run you score. These are the kind of things the Braves need to do. I'm sure if I was manager that would go over really big. That is our Hesser and Kipke Power 5 and Powerless 3. Finally for today, and we appreciate Robbie for coming in today. Always love having him on. I think Coach Spur will be on Friday. If he's not, we'll have another great guest. Have we had one bad guest ever? No. I don't think so. No. All right, our Adams Rib Co. to go, Gator of the weekend. I think we're going to Adams tonight because my daughter, who's in from L.A., loves Adams, and I think we're going to get that tonight. I'm pretty sure. That's my sources are telling me that. Anyway, Adams Rib Co. to go, Gator of the weekend. I'm going with Skylar Wallace. I mean, I know a lot of people did a lot of great things this weekend. A lot of Gators did a lot of great things, but I'm going with Skylar Wallace, who stepped it up in the postseason. This is her postseason. Now, we're going back 3 games at the Gainesville Regional and then obviously 3 games in Blacksburg. This is her postseason so far. 632 is she's hitting. 632. That I think that's good. Is there anything 632 is bad in? Well, if that was your grade, you may not get a C, but 632 is good. 11 runs and 10 RBI. That's crazy. And she's not really a power hitter. She had a homer yesterday. She's really good. She's doing great. So Skylar Wallace, again, transferred from Alabama. 2 year, obviously she played 2 years there and was really good there. And Florida got her and said, basically, anytime you're on base, you have the green light, go. And she's done it. She's got the record of all time at Florida for stolen bases. What a year she's had. And to be able to go to the College World Series, because you have a great year sometimes, you got to go, yeah, we had a great year, got knocked off in the regionals, but you had a great year, we didn't, whatever. You had a great year, and you're going to the College World Series. I believe me, it is a big deal for these young ladies. And I do, like I said, I really do like Oklahoma City, especially – I tell you, the first year I was there, I went to the memorial, and it blew me away. And I've never thought the same way about anything ever again. You go to that memorial, and it's really sad and eye-opening and makes you think a lot. And I've never stopped thinking about it. But anyway, I like Bricktown. Got a lot of cool things there. That's not one of them, but it is cool what they did and how they were able to memorialize it so you don't forget. That's what it's all about. It's always about don't forget. That's what it's about. All right, and don't forget anybody who gave their life or even got wounded in war. That certainly on Memorial Day we want to feel that way. It's important. It's important. People that I think everybody should always. I think I said this earlier. Always go watch Saving Private Ryan, because I watched that and I go, how in the world did anybody live through that? And mentally, it's crazy. All right, that's going to do it for our show. Appreciate everybody for watching. Appreciate everybody for listening. We'll be back Friday with another show. Appreciate Evan, as always, does a great job. Appreciate Robbie Andreu. This was another Dooley Noted podcast. It was presented, as always, by Titan MRI. And it comes to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Steve Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. I am Pat Dooley. I am deep, I am way back, and I am out of here.